Get your hand again and take my toothpaste.
Can you see?
No, Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is the month of February, and as I promised, we will be doing a relationship series for the month of February. For those of you who don't know, this is my husband, Darren. We have been married for 10 years. This year is our 10th year. Can't believe that it is already 10 years. Yeah. We made it. But today we are going to be speaking about something relationship-ish. But before we do that, Darren wanted to start on a light note. So he has a challenge for us.
Must I say, I greet you all in the name of Jesus. I'm joking. Can I just say you look so beautiful, and like I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, when I married you, you were still a little girl, and now you are a woman.
Thank you.
I made you a woman. Okay, so let's do a challenge. I saw this on TikTok, and we are going to do it. And so I have 2 cans of cold drink. We're going to see who can finish a can of cold drink first.
You know I can't do that.
Without burping. You have to choose because we don't have 2 of the same. We've got Coke and we've got Stony. So you're gonna close your eyes and then you're gonna choose. Okay. Choose. Okay, you drink the Coke.
Thank you.
We must see who can finish their can of cold drink first without burping. Okay, the loser has to plan a date.
1, 2, 3.
My nose is burning. Ah, those things are horrible. I win.
But why do you drink so loud like that?
I don't know. I won.
Well done. So I put out on my Instagram if anyone has questions about anything relationship, marriage, that kind of thing. So I put out on my Instagram if anyone has any questions about relationships and marriage and that kind of thing, just so that we can have some topics and questions to answer when we sit down and do this. How do you prioritize each other after having kids? A lot of questions about that. So we thought that we would tackle that today.
I think it starts with realizing that you as my wife will always be my first priority. Kids have to come after you. And I think it's much more difficult for women to accept this than it is for men, because I feel like men, we know how to like make sure we get the attention we need, you know, and we can fight for it. But women feel so torn between having to do everything they need to for their husband and for the kids. And so you often find that what happens is you then end up prioritizing the children over your husband. But I think it's about being aware and being conscious and being intentional about just maintaining the order, you know, God first, then your spouse, then children, and everything else after that. And so, I mean, we've often found ourselves in positions where I say to Arlene, I chose you, I didn't choose these kids, you know. I say to her, I'm upset, but it's true. It is the truth that she has to always be my first priority, even before the kids. As much as we do love them, as much as we would give our lives for them. If I had to ever choose between my wife and my kids, I have to be able to choose my wife first.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes it difficult as a woman is that you go through so many changes when you become a mom. Your body changes, your heart changes, everything changes, your mind changes, and your priorities change, obviously, as well. And when you have like a new baby and a small baby, that child is so demanding.
Sorry.
That child is so demanding and they need your attention and they need you as their mom. But I think in that season, especially in the newborn season and maybe even the first couple of months of having a baby, you need to give each other grace and you need to just know that it is a new season, it's a new thing, and you are feeling it out and figuring it out. But I think it's also very important not to stay there. Don't stay there where you don't make enough time for each other, where you don't prioritize each other, because that is a dangerous place to be. And I think the thing about Darren and I is that we, more than we love each other, we actually like each other. Like, I like him, I enjoy his company, I enjoy him, I miss him when he's not around, and it's one of the things that really push me to prioritize him and to prioritize making time for each other.
Yeah, I also think it's important to always recognize who is the weaker partner in that moment, and so that the stronger partner can step up and prioritize what needs to be done. And so, for instance, when Arlene's focus is on the kids and Arlene is like just in this baby bubble, it becomes my responsibility to then prioritize things like, okay, let's go out, let's make time to just get away, let's make time to spend time together, let's see if we can send the kids somewhere or give the kids to somebody, just so that if it's ordinarily her job, or not job, but if she normally takes the lead in prioritizing things for the relationship but can't do it in that moment, it then becomes my responsibility to step up and make sure that I'm still prioritizing, just because I am the stronger partner in that season.
Yeah, that's really good. But I think one of the practical points that we can give is to have people that you trust that you can pass your kids on to, so that you can just spend a couple of hours together. One of the things that Darren and I also do practically is to kind of find moments alone together. So sometimes we'll go and pick up the kids together from school, because we both work from home. Sometimes we'll go grocery shopping together, or we'll go to McDonald's together, or just like these small moments together, just mostly in the car, to be alone and to talk. And yeah, those are beautiful moments that we have that aren't necessarily planned, but it's time that we get together, and it's really precious time to be together.
Yeah, and you almost have to steal moments. I feel like there's times where you have to steal moments and try to make sure that you include each other in even the little things. Like, I mean, for us over the last couple of months, it's been silly things like, I need to go and get a light bulb, let's go together. I need to go and look for an extension cord, let's go together. And not realizing that those little moments just helps to have those, just to keep the connection there.
To connect, that's and also it's small mundane things, but also helps create like intimacy in the relationship.
Now, I know obviously we want to talk about things like date night. I feel like that goes without saying. So you want to make sure that you are still scheduling date nights, still schedule time to make love if you find that it's not happening as regularly as it should. You know, so schedule time for things like that. I heard something really, really beautiful recently, and I shared it with you, is that you should try to incorporate or include in your marriage a formula called 2-2-2. And so it is, try and have at least a minimum of 2 date nights per month, and then you want to try and have at least twice in a year you want to be able to go away, just the two of you, for an overnight something. And then you want to try and have a holiday, a family holiday, at least every 2 years. Okay, so 2-2-2. Nice formula. We spoke about it earlier this year, and it's something that we are wanting to implement now as well.
We really want to implement that. I think date night is very important to kind of prioritize each other, even if it is just once a month, or a quick coffee date, or a quick breakfast during the day. With us, we don't really go out in the evenings, because our kids are super demanding in the evenings, so they kind of can't, or more Arden now than Ezra. Ezra's bigger now, but Arden battles to fall asleep without me, so he needs me home. So the evenings are kind of out for us for now. So we work around those things, so that whoever we leave the kids with, it's not like a nightmare for them when they have the kids. Most of the time, all the time, it's my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. So we are so grateful for them, that we've got that small community that we really trust and that we can leave our kids with. But date night is super important It's a way to connect. It's a way for you to talk about things that you wouldn't ordinarily talk about at home. So I think just changing your environment kind of encourages you to talk about different things, you know? And if you feel like you don't have anything to talk about, then maybe make notes before you go, oh, let's talk about, like notes on your phone, or write down notes. You'd like to talk about this, you'd like to talk about this, and try and keep it light, because in today's day and age, it's like there is so many things that everybody's dealing with. You know the stress that your husband deals with. You know the stress that your wife deals with. So keep it light, keep it fun, and I think it's one of the things that's going to make you really enjoy and look forward to date night.
Okay, so that leads into the second part of the discussion, which is how do you prioritize each other in that season with children when there's no money?
When there is no money.
Because it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, you guys must have date nights, or we should have date nights, or we must go out. But what happens when there is no money? And I think you were saying that it seems like it's also a topic that came up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a common theme for a lot of people. People don't have money right now to be splurging on unnecessary things, and maybe a date night is unnecessary, you know.
And especially because you look on social media and you see, oh, what a nice restaurant, and you feel like that happened to us recently. Arlene saw one like a really nice restaurant, and then she called and it was like, we need at least 2,000 to go.
I didn't call. I did some research and I saw that this place is like super expensive. Yeah. I think the reality of the situation is that a lot of people are really just battling financially, and just the stress that people are under with load shedding, with things being so expensive, the price of petrol, everything goes up, the interest rate, it's like everything is so expensive. But there are ways that you can prioritize each other without spending any money, or without spending a lot of money.
Yeah, I think we found ourselves recently quite a few times there is no money to do stuff that we would really like to, or really enjoy, you know. And especially as entrepreneurs, we for us it's like every month is let's start afresh, you know, because we need to go out and make our income. And so we can't even say, okay, on payday we're going out, because for us there is no set payday. But I think it's so important to even have the discussions about money, have talks about money, and decide together, you know. And so like we, for instance, there will be times where we'll be like, okay, we know that there's not an abundance right now, but what do we have that we can at least just go and have a coffee, or that we can just go and have a burger or an ice cream or something like that. And I mean, it's literally, for sometimes it's stuff like, let's go to Cresta, let's go to the mall and get Paul's ice cream, you know what I'm saying? We've done that, or bubble tea, you know, because that's what we can afford. And so it really is not about the cost of the experience. It's much more about the intimacy and the connection of the experience.
One of the things that Darren and I do, and I think it's a great way to encourage you to spend time together, is to incorporate doing things that you love, that don't necessarily cost a lot of money. So Darren and I one of the things that we really enjoy doing is window shopping for home stuff. So looking at furniture, going and looking at tiles and flooring and taps and all that other stuff, just to kind of dream big and get a vision together for what we really want our home to look like in the long term. And it's one of the things that you can literally do on the go. If you've got petrol in your car and you've got 100 rand, 150 rand, you can go buy some McDonald's or buy a milkshake and walk around with your milkshake or your boba or whatever. Walk around and be like, oh, that'd be nice, and this is what I'd like, and that kind of thing. And it's just really a way to connect, and again, changing your environment so that you can talk about different things. Because when you're at home, you tend to talk about the same things all the time, because you are always in this environment. A lot of us are still working from home right now. A lot of us are entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. So changing your environment is key. There are also ways to have date nights at home, where you can have a meal at home together and watch a movie and that kind of thing. But I do think that changing the environment is a great way to encourage conversation and encourage different conversations.
One of the things we like to do is literally put a blanket outside in a part of the garden where we don't often go, and we're just like, okay, let's have, and we try to do it like on a Friday especially, let's just have dinner on the blanket by the grass, and we do that. And then I think another thing is, something that is not a very costly thing, but is a great experience as a couple, is to just connect with other couples. You know, we've had like really great times where we've either just invited another couple over for a meal and a swim, or just gone to another couple for a meal or for a quick visit or a coffee or something like that. And it also just helps feel like something that we've done that is different to just being at home all the time.
Yeah.
Just stay away from the Woolworths puff pastries, because yeah, that's like our go-to when we are.
So I think it's really, there are lots of budget ways. You just kind of have to get creative. And I think the reality of the situation is that a lot of people are working on a tight budget right now. So, and also as a parent, you tend to prioritize your kids. You don't think about yourselves. You don't think about your partner. And one of the things that I've really learned, and I'm strong on, you know, I mean, we have boys, we only have boys. And I just think to myself, at the end of the day, these kids are gonna leave me after I pushed them out and breastfed them and did all the things that I wanted to do for them, and then go and find another woman and leave and cleave and have their own family. And when they leave and cleave, it's just gonna be Darren and I. So if we don't maintain this relationship and stay connected, we may find ourselves divorced in our 50s and 60s. You know what I'm saying? Because people do get divorced at those ages, because the kids leave home and then you realize, oh, we don't have...
The kids were your friends.
The kids were your friends. You don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to talk about if you aren't talking about the kids, or if you aren't talking around the kids, kind of thing, you know? So that is also an encouragement that I would just like to say. It's just like, make sure that you maintain a friendship with your partner. Make sure that you stay connected. Even though your kids are a priority, you have to prioritize your marriage and your partner as well. Because at the end of the day, that's the person you chose, that's the person that you started with, and that's the person you're going to end with when your kids leave your home as well.
But I think a final thought is to, not a final thought, maybe one of the last thoughts from my side, is to just be mindful of the season and the moment, you know, especially, I think this is especially to the wives. Just understand that we're living in a time when men are under so much pressure, you know, and I feel like whether it's a man who's doing well financially or not, there is just this pressure on men to perform, to provide, to be leading and loving and doing everything that they need to do. And so as a woman, be sensitive to the season and the time that your man is going through. You know, don't put all of the normal demands on there. I think one of the things that we went through last year was, for 6 months I was doing a job assignment where it literally took me out of action for like 12 to 14 hours a day. I was sitting in the office working online, but I didn't see Arlene and the kids. But I think one of the things I appreciated about you during that season was she was just so sensitive to what I was going through, because there was all of this pressure on me. And so you didn't put any pressure on me to do things. I mean, I would walk out of the office and the first thing she would do is give me a meal, serve me a meal, ask me if I needed tea, you know, did a little bit more than usual to make sure that the kids weren't too demanding of my time and my attention, you know, because I often need like just 5 minutes to just do nothing and relax, and she would give me that time and space, and then after 5 minutes I could, you know, be with the kids and all of that. There was times I was like, I can't help with bath time right now, you know, can you just do bath time alone? Can you put them to bed on your own just for the next week, because I'm under pressure? And it's not always going to be that way. It wasn't always that way, but I think I appreciated that in that season you were sensitive enough to realize, okay, he's under pressure because he's got the pressure of having to lead and provide for this family, and so that is his focus right now. And so she took a step back and really just served more, did more, went above and beyond to just ease the pressure off of me as the husband.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's important to realize is that it really is just a season. Because now that we are out of that season, Darren is helping more. He's helping with bath time. He's picking up and dropping off. He's doing all the things that he wasn't able to do. And he didn't expect me to do that because I'm the woman, or because I'm the wife, and or gender roles or whatever. You know, don't get that part twisted. It was just literally because it's the season that he was in, it's the season that we were in as a couple and as business people, and we just had to feel it out and work through it, you know. So now he has the sensitivity to know that, okay, I need to kind of step up and help with these things and do this with the boys and do that and do that. So that is also what I appreciate, is that he didn't come out of that season and then still expect me to carry on doing everything, because I had been doing it. And it was a really hard season because Arden was still a very small baby when you went into that season. So it was Arden, I couldn't even put Arden into the bath to just sit, because he wasn't sitting, he was still a small baby. So it was really, really hard. But we made it through and we made it work, and we're out of it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, our encouragement to you is to just prioritize each other. Remember why you chose your person. And I think if you have not chosen your person yet, choose someone that you like more than you love, because the love will be there, but it's not always going to be this present feeling of love. But if you're with someone that you like, you will make it work.
Yeah,
sure.
This is always the team that comes first.
Yeah.
And I think we always say this whenever we speak on relationships and stuff. We are on the same team, and we always keep that like top of mind, is that we are playing for each other. We want to win together.
Yeah.
And so that's how we approach everything as far as our marriage and our family goes.
Yeah. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found value in it. Hopefully in the next one, Darren will be feeling better and he won't be so all over the show, because he's the one that is all over the show, not me. But anyway, thank you, babe. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and thank you for sharing your experience.
Finish your coat.
No, thank you for sharing your experience and your heart. But if you've got any questions, anything you want us to address in the next video, let me know. We will see how we can address it, and we do have something coming up for the singles as well.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. If you haven't already, please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. I've got a gloss on.
Put a kiss.